Good evening. This is Tony from Phantasmic Chronicles, and I'm joined here by my good friend Danny from Two Real Geeks. And you are here
That's
for a
me.
World of Randomness, where once again you are in charge of the chat. You are in charge of where we go with our stream, and we are just here
That's
to have
dangerous.
fun tonight. It is, and you know what? It works really well. People come in, they get involved, and they have a great time. How are
Yes,
you
they
tonight,
do.
Danny?
I know. I'm good. I'm good. What's going on with you?
Well, I am on crutches again, unfortunately. It's the story of my life. Felt like I dislocated my knee, went and had x-rays done. They can't find anything. So just waiting on a chance to go see
That
the orthopedic.
that sucks.
I know. But, it's one of those things. It's the world of randomness. That's my life. It's random
Yeah.
getting hurt all the time. Welcome in, Jonathan, and my wife. Thank you for
What's
coming in.
up, John? Wife.
Yeah, Jonathan, yes, ouch, because I didn't go get an x-ray for about 8 hours. And finally, I told my wife to take me to get it looked at. I finally had enough of ready to
Wait,
bite
wait, wait, wait,
concrete.
wait. How much of her going? Go get this looked at. Go get this looked at. That have to happen.
There was a few of them, but she knows to say it once or twice.
Yeah.
And I'm either going to do it or I'm not. I'm not good at taking care of myself. I'm one of the worst at it, actually. I was on my deathbed with pneumonia a couple years ago, and it took 3 days after her
Yeah.
begging me to go to finally be admitted to the hospital with a 103.5 degree fever, and felt like I was on my deathbed. Well, being on crutches, as
Not
you
fun.
see, there's no fallout shelter. I'm up in civilization tonight. So, I'm not going to be going up.
That's okay.
Yeah, I am not going to be going up and downstairs for a little bit.
So you're stuck on the bed, not even doing anything. On the couch,
Yeah,
not even doing anything wrong.
I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time because where I work is closed because of everything that's going on. So it kind of worked out. So I don't have to worry about taking
That's
time
all
off of
right.
work. They kind of gave it to me.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
So how's business down there for you? Putting in a lot of hours?
I can't even say it's going. We're slow. We're
Well,
slow.
I mean, it's going to be what
Look,
it's going to be right now.
I'm taking it as it is, and all I can do is enjoy the time off. That we're slow, right?
That's true. I mean, and Big Brother's going to send us money, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, but my bonuses aren't going to be there, and that's going to suck.
Yeah, bonuses not being there are going to suck. My buddy works,
Yeah.
My buddy runs an advanced auto parts, and he's like, I'd rather they just close it because then I don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's kind of what I'm saying, but at the same time,
He's like, I don't have to worry about bonuses.
I need a paycheck. At my place, my shop, we made budget. We made budget less than halfway into the month, and then, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, you made budget at least.
Yeah, but if
so at least you get
budget.
True.
When your labor is more than your net income,
that's true.
Hi,
I'm Danny. I'll be doing your oil change and everything else today because we can't afford to have anybody else here.
Yeah, basically.
So as far as our situation right now, are you going to continue doing live streams from anywhere, or are you just going to kind of just sit back, put the camera down, and just hang out for a little while.
No, I can't. I can't sit back and put the camera down, but it's like honestly, this is like one of the few times that I've actually talked about this stuff, and honestly, I don't know. We just rather not talk about it, like, cause
Yeah, we're just. I mean,
we bring fun, and this is not fun. So
no, it's not, and I
there's
don't want to talk much about it. I just want to kind of see,
yeah,
what you're doing right now with everything going on,
yeah.
because things are definitely changing for YouTubers, especially with this what's going on.
Well, they are, but realistic. You know, I can go throw the camera on the dog and take her to Lowe's because Lowe's is a dog friendly store. Things
True.
like that. Like you see what we do. We find something to do. So we're not we're
Yeah.
not putting the camera down because if I put the camera down, especially in a time like this, I want that escape, and I want to give them something to escape to. You know, like
Well, yeah, that
the trees down here are blooming and things like that. So I can go to the park and do a scenic view of a park or something. There's things I can do.
yeah, and I don't want anybody who's watching this now or anybody watching on the replay. This is not going to be our whole stream. This is this. We want to
No.
have fun. We want to enjoy ourselves. But I mean, it is the elephant in the room with both of us right now, and a lot of people who
Get out
YouTube
of the
right
way
now.
so we can move on. Yeah.
Yep. So we can
Yeah.
talk about roller coasters and rock and roll. And unfortunately, I can't play the metal every hour. So
It's okay.
but well,
It's okay.
yeah, it's okay.
We forgive you.
Well,
The show needs to go on the road every once in a while to Tony's channel too, because he is part
Yep.
of the show. And why not?
Yep.
It's going to be the same show, so it's okay.
That's true. Hi, Shelly. Welcome in. Shelly, I seen the pictures you put on Instagram. I think it was today. The butterfly, and there was the picture from your trip to Louisiana. Those pictures were really neat. Did you see those, Danny?
No, honestly, I've been so far on social media. It's been bad, but honestly, the reason I've been off of there because I don't want to see all the nonsense and the BS there about this store sold that. I don't care. I don't care. Me reading it on social media is just like, okay, what do it? It's just so much.
The only thing I want to do on social media is bid on a pallet of toilet paper. Just because I can. Because they're out there.
Did you hear about the guys?
They're out there.
Did you hear about the guys with the hand sanitizer?
Yes, I was just going to talk about that.
Oh
17,700 bottles, and they can't. And now they're being investigated by the state of Tennessee. Did you see that?
Yep.
They're being investigated
and they
for
were
price gouging.
And then they went and then they donated it all to churches.
Yep. And
I can't.
I have mixed emotions on what they were doing because, we live in a capitalistic society. We're supposed to be able to buy goods and sell goods. Now, was it right to sell
it that much?
Yeah, to sell a bottle of hand sanitizer for $60? That and he tried to say, well, sometimes it costs me $11 to mail it. Well, come on now.
$11 to mail a bottle of yeah, okay. Right.
Because it's considered a hazardous material. I'm telling you right now, he's boxing it up and he's sending it media mail for almost nothing and telling them it's books.
Hey. Here, can we right here tonight? Can we start it?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
So instead of toilet paper, let's start the toilet one.
Oh, the toilet seat. Well,
buy up all the toilet seats.
All the toilet seats. And it's funny because I seen a picture the other day, and it was the toilet paper aisle here and the medicine aisle. The medicine aisle
Yeah.
stocked all the cough and cold and flu medications, no toilet paper. The last I checked, this thing does not cause diarrhea, but it does cause issues that cough and cold remedies would help. So,
all the fever medication's still on the wall, but that 103 fever. Thank you, cat.
yeah,
But
yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you buy up the cough and cold remedies? The cold and flu remedies. No, it's not the flu, but it's got the same. It's got the same
it's the
symptoms.
new world we live
And
in. That's all
yeah,
it is the new world we live in, and these people are a bunch of circus clowns. That's it.
here's the thing: Mr. Whipple went out to buy some Charmin, and he noticed that it wasn't selling as well as he'd like it to. So he went and bought all the Charmin in the store, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, all the toilet paper's gone over here. We'll have to stock up on this brand now." And then, yeah,
Hey, Lena.
Lena, how you doing? Yeah, we're talking about people stocked up on toilet paper. Well, toilet paper stocks will fall after this because
Yep.
no one's going to buy any toilet paper for about 6 years.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't go out and buy any toilet paper.
No, but I heard you have Guess toilet paper. I don't know too many people that have Guess toilet paper.
Well,
just saying.
I mean, rolls of it from work, so.
Oh. So is that the Guess toilet paper? Oh.
No.
When people show up,
No.
Oh, okay. There's none to buy anywhere. You almost have to.
But I did this before this whole. I come home with Jess is like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What? We don't have to buy it. I just took it from work."
See, you're pulling something straight out of Shameless, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And we, because at work we have the dispensers on the walls. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine the size of it,
Yeah, that toilet paper is not small.
No, it's not. Yeah, exactly.
One-ply recycled.
Who cares? It might be sandpaper, but who cares?
I always called that stuff John Wayne toilet paper because it doesn't take crap off of anybody.
This is true.
Yeah, I went to the store, which, if anybody's seen my video I did on how we save for a family vacation, seen that, I'm good to go on groceries for a while. You always need something, and I was like,
yeah,
I had the boys, they just got done bowling, and I said, boys, I hate to tell you this, but we're going to have to stop at the store, pick up a couple things. And I walk into Aldi. All I want is a loaf of bread and a couple other small things. I couldn't find a loaf of bread anywhere. And then Brandon finds a loaf of bread, and it's one of those tiny little artisan loaves. It's like $6. And I told him, I said, no.
Just take it.
No, I didn't. And I was like, we'll go to the grocery store across the street. Now, mind you, there was no toilet paper. There were 6 empty pallets just laying on the floor. Which, if you've ever been into an Aldi, things don't sit empty very long because they're constantly out there when stocking as the day goes on. But one of the girls up there says, "Yeah, we've been out of toilet paper for days."
Can I tell you guys a secret? Can I tell you where the secret is? You want toilet paper? You know where you go? I'll tell you right now. Because everyone I've been to, I've seen it in there. Again.
Yeah. It's cool. It costs you a couple
$1
dollars.
Gas station. But still, just go to the gas station. Just saying. I mean,
Oh,
everybody
well,
forgets about the gas stations. Lena,
yeah,
I really don't know much about any of this. I mean, as you see us, we're making light of this situation. I mean,
yeah.
that's all you can do.
I've seen way too many streams so
It's for
far
me.
that have made it so much more than what it is. And I'm not saying I don't take it seriously. I take it very seriously. Me and Danny even talked about it. The closures
It's
they're
not.
doing, they should have been done already.
Yeah, exactly.
But to live, to live and be completely worried about it all the time, I just, I'd hate to see you get yourself, and I know you have upper respiratory issues to begin with anyway. So yeah, I can understand your worry about it, but like you said, you're doing everything you need to, or everything you can do. It's
Mm-hmm.
like David said, most people are going to get it no matter what they do. No matter what they do, most people are going to get it. They're just trying to slow down the curve so that when someone who has a massive or is immunosuppressed or needs to be put on a ventilator, it's available for them.
Hey,
If
Noah.
Noah, how's it going? Yeah, if we wind up doing things the way that China did it, we're going to wind up with a million people trying to find a hospital to go to and only 100,000 beds. But on that note,
For for me, for me, it's not so much the sickness, because we just need to figure a way to curb it. That's it. And in my opinion, it's just basically keep people home for a while, and it'll squash this. But realistically, it's the people that are, kind of like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, you guys are animals. Staying away from you. Please just stay away from, and where I work and everything else. That's it. I mean,
yeah,
look, sit here and say,
yeah,
oh my gosh, the virus. I worked 12 years in New York City as an EMT. Okay, growing, took the subways all the time. And if I was going to have a fear of anything, it would be a fear of tuberculosis in New York City.
oh yeah,
Or
yeah. That tuberculosis will get you every time too. There ain't nothing you can
yeah,
do about that.
so it's arm's length. If people try to at work try to come up, hey, what's going? Arm's length, buddy. Arm's length. Just stay there. With me, just stay there. Thank you.
Yep, just keep your distance. My wife.
Yep, that's it.
I told her, I said, I hate to say it, but you know what? We need to prepare to be stuck inside. When
Yeah,
we don't have to go
yeah. We're
somewhere,
doing the same thing
staying
tomorrow
inside.
morning.
I've,
Yeah, that's all.
there's nothing there's nothing I need to go to that bad that I can't wait for a while. As long as this is all cleared out by the beginning of June, so I can go to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. So I'm trying to stay healthy and do my part to keep it from spreading, so I can go to Florida.
I paid my power bill today. I paid my internet bill today. That's all I need. I'm good. And not only that, I made sure my Hulu and Netflix were paid up too. So guess what? It's a Netflix and chill. That's it.
That might be too much information, Danny. That means something different.
Well, you can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Oh, well, okay. And then my wife here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where are you going
Yeah.
anyways? I mean, come on.
Hey,
Where are you
I can, I can, I can crutch wherever the hell I want to. I can just
going?
crutch
Well, I
and
was gonna
crutch
say
and
you
crutch
can
all the way.
crawl, but that means using your knees, so you can't even crawl.
Yeah, you're not going to see me. If you see me crawling somewhere, you better run because there's something chasing me. Because that hurts.
Yeah. Well, if you see me running, you
Yeah.
could ask where the buffet is too.
Well, that's true. I could be crawling to a buffet. I can do a good buffet. Maybe not right now, but I do a good,
Yeah.
good buffet.
exactly.
So, is my audio bad on anybody else's end? Michael says my audio's bad on his end. I'm using a different
It's not
laptop and
bad
I'm
on
using a
mine.
new connection for it.
I don't see it being bad on my end. So then again, we are both in StreamYard, so
Yeah. Here's something good on the other end of this. Six Flags is going to have time without the park being open to get their stuff done.
no, I don't think so. I think they told to stay home, just like Disney did. Disney told all staff to stay home
Okay,
because
yeah,
he's
I
not
seen
doing any
Disney did
construction
that as
either.
well.
Yeah, so I don't think any park is really doing any construction right now. So, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Keep everybody safe. I don't care. Do what you need to do. Separate. You know, look. If we're told to stay home, I got a vacation. I got a vacation handed to me, and then I can still take my vacation later in the year.
Yep, that's true. It's a free
You
vacation.
know,
And
I'm not stressing anything. I'm not. It's not worth it. Like all these channels that cover Six Flags, like, oh, you should have did that. Well, leave them alone. They have families too. Leave them alone. You know, Disney people
yeah,
are gonna be, taking this time. What? Taking this time to what? Catch whatever. You know, be in close con.
yep,
Look, you've done construction work. I've done construction work. You know, people in our chat here have done some kind of construction, even if it's around the house or whatever. When you're doing that type of work, it's
it's
close
close quarters.
contact.
Yep,
Yeah,
and you're working
you
with
know.
people. You're not, especially out in the construction field. You've got so many different people in and out. You can work with over 100 different people, in a day. When you get into a certain
Yeah,
part of a project, you can have finishers in, you can have the roughers are still in getting out, and then you got all these other
yeah.
people. It's just,
Truck drivers
it's
coming
not
in
worth it.
because truck
Yep.
drivers, the cleanest people in the world. You know, I mean, it's just like construction people. Always, it's such a clean environment. You know, let them be. Let them be. Things will get
Yeah.
done when they
And,
get done. That's it.
yep. So, just like you said about truck drivers, we need this stuff moved across the country because Walmarts are never going to close. They are, I
Nope.
guess, from what I understand, Walmart, every town they go into
Can't say
sets
that.
up with emergency management.
Can't say that.
Well,
I have Walmarts here that have closed.
they have closed or they've changed their hours. Okay. Because I know, well, you've got multiple in a large area, but, you know,
Walmarts are like corner stores here.
but like in our county, there's one, and it's considered an emergency evacuation area. And they
Yeah.
do this when they move into towns. I've got a friend, him and his wife. He was management there forever, and she's still management there. I mean, for 20 years plus. And what they do is when they go into these small towns, they get themselves in with the local government, and they become emergency evacuation areas, so that they can't be forced to close down.
Yeah. I'm just laughing right now because I just realized what cup I'm actually drinking out of, and we're talking about this stuff.
What are you drinking from?
Okay, you're gonna laugh.
Oh, zombie attack. It's
How to
here.
survive.
The zombie apocalypse is here.
uh, like, I, I mean, my house is horror. Point in case, all my stuff is horror related, or it's just something along those lines. Video game horror, nerdy, or whatever. Like this is just second nature.
Yeah,
Just I wasn't even thinking of this.
yeah. Just getting this into the zombie apocalypse.
Do you know what this
You
is,
know,
everybody? This is training for the actual zombie apocalypse. Okay, if you survive this, you'll survive the apocalypse. That's it.
Well, maybe it's not the
Listen
zombie
to your trainer.
apocalypse. Maybe it's the infected from 28 days later.
I was just talking. You know how many people have not seen that movie?
If they haven't, they're doing themselves a disservice. I mean, it's such what was the first one? 28 days later, and then there was 28 weeks later. And I realize it's not
Yeah.
zombies the way that we think, but what's scarier than, I mean, these things are Usain Bolt fast.
I
And,
know. Like, no. As a horror fan, no, they're not zombies. But that movie still scares because it's legit. Like, well, point in case, like what we're dealing with these days. Tell me that could not take a whole
I'll
city
say,
to a camp for a quarantine camp, and then what if you're stuck
yep.
outside? You're on your own. Sorry.
It's much more feasible than the whole zombie apocalypse. I mean, because let's face it,
Look at
once you're gone, you're
oh
gone.
hell no.
That's something right now that, you know what, if you want to make a mint and you're not, and as things start to calm down and these theaters that are closing open back up, if you got a small mom and pop theater, throw 28 days later into the theater. You know what?
Oh,
People will go and watch it because we're not the only ones that's talked about this. This is 28 days later.
Like I just had this conversation at work today about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, was that a British film or an Australian film? I know that it was made
British.
in one of those. I knew it was a Commonwealth movie. I just didn't know.
Took place in London. Yeah, because I think they showed a shot at Big Ben, I believe. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, but
it don't matter. It was still a good movie.
Yeah, it was. And right now, I think another great movie, based on this right here.
Oh heck yeah! Yes.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
I was thinking about that today too, because I got a friend that lives in West Virginia. And, they just had their first confirmed case today, and he put up there a picture of the two of them throwing the records, and I was like, it's true. I just want to get down to where did they go? Was it the Winchester? And drink pints until it all blows over.
Yeah, that's the Winchester. Yep.
And I'm going to drink pints.
Speech and the whole. I used to know the whole thing. I used to be able to tell you that, like, word for word. It's gone now.
Yeah, we're going to get out of the Winchester and we're going to drink pints until this all blows over. So, let's see. Shelley, maybe telling us, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It's all right.
So
we need a Winchester. That's it. We just need a Winchester.
Yeah.
Hey, have what gets me is people are stuck hoarding ammo.
Yeah, I mean,
on the radio came on today, and he was like, "Yeah, I went out and bought 35,000 rounds of ammunition." The hell? Are you a small army? Like, what are you doing?
Here's the thing: the people are sitting at home and they're watching their state governors, their city's mayors, they're watching the president shut everything down, and they all have this thing that they're trying to lock everybody down so they can take away everything from everybody. How about we just calm down for a minute? How about we
let them do their job? That's it.
Yep.
Do their job.
Just relax a little bit and just let this all blow over. I mean, if you don't want to be locked down,
Shelly.
that's fine. You go out there and you run through. Yeah, yeah, it is.
So
How'd you
wait,
know?
we didn't need the new music. We're good.
Well, yeah, I'm chiming away here. So I'm sure Jess has got some videos you're going to make of her cooking to keep things going. Like you said, Leia going out. I know that
Yeah, I
me
mean,
and the
look,
boys, we're probably going to make some cooking videos and stuff.
yeah,
So I mean, everybody that's freaking out that it's the end of YouTubers and it's never going to be okay again. We're all going to be just fine.
yeah, right. We're gonna be better than we actually have been. I'll tell you that right
Yep.
now.
The people that are going to really struggle are the ones that can only do or that only do Disney.
The theme parks that don't know how to adapt. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, I
guess what?
mean,
I ain't one of those. I've seen my channel. I don't just do theme
yep.
parks. I can do other things. I'm trying to find the thing that she sent me.
I did just hear that a lot of things that are filming right now are shut down for the foreseeable future
Yeah,
too. So movies that we
here
were
where I'm
expecting,
at too. A lot of the Marvel
yeah,
stuff shut down.
yeah, the Marvel stuff.
Did you
There's
see this?
cereal. What does that say?
Cereal
Oh,
pancakes.
yes, at IHOP. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be great, except for the fact that all the restaurants are carry out only in Ohio right now.
yeah. Well,
You can't go
you can do
anywhere and
carry
sit
out.
down and eat.
You can do carry out at IHOP.
Yeah, but I'm not driving 30 miles out of my way to just carry it out and go home and eat cold pancakes.
IHOP is about 10 minutes away from me, so
Yeah, it's not 30 miles. It's about a 15-minute drive for us.
so I'll
Still,
show you
just
what
turn
I'm
around and bring
freaking
it
out
back home.
about. I'm gonna show you what I'm freaking out because I was gonna kill Jess for doing this to me. Okay,
Okay.
I can't believe I even fucking have this on my phone. Sorry, but that.
Is that a snake? Yeah, that. Yeah,
I
I'd have
hate
probably thrown my phone.
snakes.
Here's the
I
thing:
hate
snakes wouldn't be
snakes.
scary if they had legs. Nothing should be able to move that
Snakes
fast
wouldn't
without legs.
snakes wouldn't be scary if my head I wouldn't think that every snake eats a whole person whole. Can eat a person. Okay, like I hate them. I don't know. And then she takes this picture
What?
and sends it to me. Okay, and this I was like, where is that? She was like, oh, it's in the field by the house. I was like, you over there? She's like, it's just a rat snake. I don't care what it is. That thing's gonna
Yeah,
eat
it's
people.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I was like,
that's what happens when you put up movies
why
like Anaconda.
would you send that to my phone? Now I have to burn my phone because that is on there. And
You
she's
have to
just
burn
sitting
your
there laughing
phone.
at me.
Yep, yep. You got to burn your phone. Then you got to burn her phone because it was on her phone.
Uh,
Then you got to go out there and you got to commit arson because you got to gasoline that whole field and burn it because it's out there
turn
somewhere.
the woods down. I go, dude, does
Yeah.
Walmart sell flamethrowers? I asked her, does Walmart sell flamethrowers? Because I'm going to burn the woods down behind the house. She's like, I don't think the apartment
Shelly, you're
complex will
right. They
like that.
do.
I
They
go, I
help you
don't
out.
care.
They give me anxiety. If you consider
I
that helping
don't
me out.
care if they not. When they're as long as me, it needs to go away.
Yeah, snakes.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. No.
When I was much younger, I had a friend that had had a bull python, and I
Uh-huh.
stayed at his house for a while, and I used to wake up in the middle of the night having nightmares that thing got out.
Ugh.
Yeah, no thanks.
When I met her, she has a snake. Her parents have a snake, and oh, she took it out once. Tony, if you wanted to see a grown man squeal like a little schoolgirl out the house and down like 6 flights of stairs, yeah, that was me.
That's
Oh
what I would have done too.
God,
Don't feel bad. Yeah,
gosh,
don't feel
like
bad. That would
no.
have been me. Yeah,
And
I'm
here
not
I
a
am in
fan.
Georgia, land of them, you know.
There are a lot of snakes down there.
Um, I mean, not a lot, like not like I see them all the time, but there's enough.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I could look at it on my phone. I'd have probably stepped on my phone.
Was it? Oh, I call. I sent her the text message. I was like, WTF and WTF? Why? Why would you do that to me? Thank you. And then I called her right away. She was like, yeah, that was a quick response. I was like, why? Why would you do that? No. Yeah. No. I was like, why would you even get that close to that thing? She's like, it's just a rat snake. I was like, I don't think it is. No.
So here's a question for you with your time off that you're probably going to have coming up when they list Jiffy Lubes as non-essential to daily life. Are we going to get caught up on Man in the High Castle and the first season of The Hunters?
I don't know. I'm not the one that watches things like she does. She's gets all into the series and things like that, and I just
I'll tell you what, you watch one episode of Man in the High Castle.
yeah
It actually takes about
yeah.
two
But
episodes because they.
here's my thing is when I turn anything on, doesn't matter where I am, I'll fall asleep watching whatever. It could be something good. Jess will tell you this too. I'm not the one to sit there and watch something with. You know, unless it's like a documentary, I'll sit there and watch a whole documentary.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything
I
else, I'm
just
like,
about got in.
okay, good night. Like, it's bad.
Speaking of documentaries, I came across a great one today, and I knocked out probably four, maybe five of the 8 episodes. It was called World War II: The Road to Victory, and it's
Okay.
basically everything from the national leaders' point of view, like Churchill and because it goes from
Okay.
World War One, leads into World War II, and everything that was, all the important people behind the scenes and all the things that they did to try to shape the war, and like like the minuscule things that Roosevelt did to try to keep us from getting in the war, and the things that he was doing to help other countries,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that it was refreshing because usually when you watch these documentaries, you get the cookie cutter documentary of, okay, at Pearl Harbor, we wound up
History
going over
Channel
there.
ones at the one
Um,
of the History
I don't
Channel
know who.
remastered ones.
I no, I don't believe so. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called World War II: The Road to Victory.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it went behind the scenes of how, which I knew this, Germany and Russia had a pact and a neutrality agreement with each other that Germany wouldn't invade Russia, Russia wouldn't invade Germany, and then when they took all of Europe, Russia would get all the countries they wound up with after World War II anyway. They would get those, have
Yeah.
total control over those, and Germany would get the rest of Europe. And then they talked about how Hitler, wound up invading Russia, and how there was parts where
Yeah.
Churchill went to Italy to try to talk Mussolini out of joining with the Axis powers. It was really neat to hear the little nuances that went on you don't normally hear about when you see these documentaries. If you ever get a chance, it's called Road to Victory, World War II.
Okay. I'll check it out.
But speaking of that, you talk about the History Channel remastered things. Did you ever watch World War II in color or World War II in HD?
No, I haven't watched it.
That's on Amazon Prime too. That is a
Okay.
tremendous, because when you watch these things and they show the real footage from like World War II or World War One, scary enough as it is, seeing them remastered into color, it's bad. I mean, it's no wonder that we talk about our soldiers coming back now having PTSD and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine, you know, battles are fought so much differently now than they were even as far as all the way up to Korea. Uh-oh, we lost Danny. Oh, he'll be back here in a minute. At least I hope. So, Shelly, crabs creep you out, but you love to eat them. Crabs don't creep me out. I just won't touch them. I like some seafood, but crabs, no thank you. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. So we're going to be a minute waiting on Danny. He's trying to fix his camera. Just bear with us here for a little bit while we wait on him to come back. So what'd you do there, Danny? Oh, he's still trying to bring.
Am I here?
Shut your laptop down.
No, I hit the. It was giving me issues. I had to restart the browser.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, you just disappeared, and then I get a text. Yeah, I'm sitting here. Danny texted me to let me know what happened. I mean, I kind of figured it was the cord again, but wasn't quite sure.
Yeah. I hate this port.
What's the name of that game, Jonathan?
I mean, I've been playing.
I mean, I'm not a big RPG guy, but that one sounds kind of interesting right there.
I like me in a
now
world game. That's what I'm about.
Well, it's like you've talked about being an open world gamer, and we talked about Diablo that one night. If I could find a good game, like one of my favorites was, and I know it was very basic and very 16-bit, but Wolfenstein. I would play that all day long because I mean it was fictional, but it was World War II based.
For the Switch. This close to picking up for the Switch.
Well, they've got so many versions of it out there now, and the graphics on it are so much better. But I remember playing it back in the very early days. I mean, literally before you had 14.4 dial-up. If you wanted to be on the net, you had to be on what was the old system? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. An old modem style, an old, you hung your phone up on the modem and you dialed in. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's when I was playing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind
An
of
old
aged on me a little bit.
Motorola modem. You needed that old Motorola modem or something.
Yep. And you had to sit there and listen to your modem or to that great big huge modem crack and popple the whole time. Yeah, and it didn't even end when you made a connection, pretty much, because it was thing would just hum and hiss, and you had your telephone up on top of it. And I never no, this was before dial-up, Jonathan. This was a BBS bulletin board system, the old BBS system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So bad.
which is
So
that's
bad.
where ICQ got its
Could you
start and IRC, because
could you
that's the
imagine
reason why
trying
it
to do
was.
this on there? Oh
There's no
man.
way. There's no way. But if you think about it, really, we're we're not doing it much different. Still sending it
No, we're
over.
not.
We're still sending it over old copper lines, pretty much. The
Yeah,
majority of
we
it
are.
right now is copper lines. Especially
Mm-hmm.
if you've got ADSL, it is over copper lines, unless you've got FiOS or Xfinity.
Let me tell you
What's their
something.
version?
Same thing, like the X whatever. But I I I had FiOS. I would never do fiber optic ever again. Ever. It
Now,
slowed my internet down so much. It sucked. Cable, like television, it sucked.
well, here's why it sucks. And I had a guy explain this to me one time, because the area we live in, they're starting
Mm-hmm.
to bring some fiber optics as a precursor to everything going fiber optic, which I think,
Yep.
from what I heard years ago, is by the year 2030, they want everything fiber optic, which we're 10 years out now. And this was like 10 years ago, back when fiber optics
Yeah.
first started going in. So,
Yeah.
you know, 20 years, you could probably do about 50% of the US. But we're here now, and you
Yeah.
still only have certain large cities that have it in certain areas. The problem is you're getting fiber optic coming into your house and it's going back out to the curb. Well, when that fiber optic ends, what's it going into? Going right back into a copper line. So
Yeah.
you have it's like trying to dump 40 gallons of water down your sink drain, and
Yeah.
when after you get past the trap, your pipe goes down to a quarter of the size it was. You go from 1 inch pipe to quarter-inch pipe. It's going to take forever
Yeah.
for that to go down.
Exactly.
So you actually have worse quality with the shorter amount of run of your fiber optic. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in an area where you have fiber optic going back to a main line, a
Mm-hmm.
main copper head, your fiber optic is going to work tremendously. Like they say that right now, fiber optic,
Now,
you can watch up to 32K. So fiber optic is ready for 32K. You think about it. How long ago did HDTV come out? The original
not
720s
that long ago.
with, you know,
Not that long ago.
maybe 15 years ago. And then to
Yeah.
go from
It's not
720
long.
and 1080. And then all of a sudden, 4K just came out a couple of years ago, and there are 8K televisions out now. I bet you within the next 2 years, we're going to be to 16 and to even 32. They're not
Mm-hmm.
going to mess around making a jump from 8 to 12. They're going to go to 16.
I don't like. I don't really like the way like 4K looks. Like if I'm watching something, I don't want to feel like I'm in a movie. It kind of it should come with a warning like, hey, this gives you motion sickness. Like go back. Like I was at a friend's house. We the Clone Wars, right? The movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole scene with the whole speeder going through, trying to get the and everything going through in the beginning of the movie, right?
Okay.
Kind of like reminded me of reminds you of like Blade Runner and all that.
Hmm.
That whole dude, try watching that in 4K. Oh my god. It's
Well,
like,
you know,
whoa, my head was about to explode. Like I can't. I'm watching this on TV. I'm there. It's just I gotta have that separation.
well, let me take you back just, you know, to episode 1 of Star Wars. You know, when you went to
Mm-hmm.
did you go to the theater and watch that, the pod racing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, at the time, really
In
what you were watching
3D.
on screen, well, no, I didn't see it in 3D, but when you watch it on the screen, you know, you're getting a much larger picture. So you're you don't need the
Yeah.
1080 or the 4K to get that same effect. But when you go back and you watch that now, you know, and they've Ultra HD and we've got a 4K TV, and when you watch it, it still
Yeah.
doesn't match up to that experience you got in the movie theater. But if they filmed it in 4K or even now with 8K, because everything 4K and
Yeah.
8K is 60 FPS. I don't think that 4K will even record in 30
Don't you think
or
some
8K.
scenes 4K? Don't you think? I noticed that like some scenes, some of the scenes seem to have like they like slow down a little bit. It's in my opinion.
Do
Me,
you
like I
mean
know 4K does different things for people.
so you're saying like when you're watching it, it slows down from a movie aspect, or the refresh rate slows down?
The refresh rate, like if somebody's turning and all of a sudden they're just like it's like a slow turn. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, if your
Like it's trying
TV
to
is
catch up to
4K,
itself.
yeah, well, if your TV is 4K, which we wound up, we our smart TV went out about 2 years, well, about a year ago, and we found
Yeah,
a 4K television on sale, smart TV, so we went ahead and bought it. But our
yeah.
4K is only 60 hertz. So if you're watching it
Okay.
and this movie's filmed with 120 hertz, or is it hertz or megahertz? I can't remember. But anyway, if it's not the right speed for what you're watching, yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to. It's constant. That's like one of the bad things about a lot of HD TVs, because remember you had the big craze of, "Okay, now you can get HD at home for all your channels," and they bring in this box and you go through your settings and you
Mm-hmm.
got to change all your settings on your TV because it's going to bring you 1080, but it was only sending things through at 30 hertz, and
Yeah.
the signal coming in was at 60, so everything would slow down. And then once you get those adjustments right, it's too much work to watch a television show.
Yeah. It
You know,
is.
I
It
want to
is.
sit down and see ours will adjust itself for the hertz rate. But if I've got something like that comes out on Prime that's true 4K,
Right.
I get exactly what you're saying. I get the slow movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I I love the idea of 4K. I love the idea of even 8K.
Lena,
And
that
I see
is
what you're saying.
awesome.
Oh yes, that is very
Wow.
awesome.
That is awesome.
I know last year had said that
You
they
know,
had to bring down the whole house,
somebody
so I'm glad.
somebody
So,
you may not want to put those in, somebody's presence. That's all I'm saying. It's you know, somebody may do a Wednesday, night.
yep. Hey, you can join Danny and do AD&D with him.
you know, that might be doing D&D
Well, see, you have the you have
remotely.
well, you have the premium version of StreamYard. Now I know here
I
on
do.
my end, I can bring 6 people into the stream, and then I can
Yes.
have as many people backstage as I want. How many with the premium version can you bring into a stream at once? Do you know? Did you look into that, or is it still the same?
I haven't looked into it. I think it's still the same. I haven't really looked into it.
I
Wait,
see. I
so
mean,
isn't there like two different versions of the paid though? I thought there was two versions of paid.
I'm not sure. See, I'm lucky to spend enough time on here for the free version. I mean, the free version should be paying me. So
Yeah, right.
yeah. Okay. Lena says it's a total of 6 for premium, but I'm pretty sure that I can bring 6 in here at one time. Maybe it's only 4, but no, because I've seen people with 5 in a stream at once, and as far as I know, they do not have the upgraded version. But like I said, I could be completely wrong about that.
I'm looking right
Kelly,
now. I'm
2 of
trying to
your
see what
3
they're.
play. Do you play?
So there's the free, there's a basic, which I have, and then there's a
Lena
professional.
says 6 for all levels.
Yeah, it is. The only difference between the basic and the professional that I'm seeing is 3 hours is you got 4 hours on the basic and 8 hours on the professional, and then multi-streaming is you can do destinations, and the professional you can go to 5. Ooh, big whoop for $25 a month for basic, which compared to $49.99 for the professional. No, thank you.
And
No,
there's probably
thank
nothing
you.
you probably don't. There's probably not enough that any of us could get out of. I mean, for what we do as
Yeah.
small YouTubers, that would ever need us to spend $50 a month for a streaming platform.
Honestly, even as a bigger YouTuber, I wouldn't see me need $50 a month. I mean, I don't even take advantage of streaming to 2 locations right now. I mean, I can go and share it onto my Facebook page if I wanted to.
You can also do to Twitch too, can't you? At the same time, if you wanted.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I was. And I don't know if anybody that's listening here has ever used Twitch, but I I
Yeah,
didn't
what do you
download
have?
the app.
Please,
I
because
I
I'm
just
curious, man.
it's a wild wild west. Like if you go, like I don't feel like I can look for a certain user, and then you go in and there's
Yeah,
game streams and it's listed games, and then they'll have a block that says just chatting. Like for something like what we're doing right here, and you go into it like uh, I believe it was, what is today? Today's Tuesday. I think it was last Friday. I went in just playing around, and like there was some
yeah.
guy just he was stuck at the airport. He couldn't fly out. He went into the hotel or went
Right.
into the airport bar, and he's like hanging out with these strangers, just going on Twitter.
It's
And
weird.
this guy's got thousands of people in there watching. And I mean, he's got, and from the way I understand it, is it works different monetizing with Twitch. Like you go in, you can be monetized right away. There's
Yeah,
not the
but you're right.
levels
You're
like
no
YouTube is put in place.
Twitch. Yeah, no Twitch. You go in there and you can just start throwing your money. Unlike YouTube, where you got to work for it.
Yeah. Now there are these people. This guy is literally just sitting there on the camera doing shots of Jägermeister with these young college kids in the airport, and
Yeah,
there's money flying in left and right, and it's like
yeah,
who is paying who is paying to sit around and listen to someone talk to people they don't know, so they don't have a rapport, and just doing shots. I
let
mean,
me t-
and why are they
there's
donating to them?
some real trash on Twitch. I'll tell you that right now.
But Twitch is kind of almost marketed itself to like, okay, we don't like when
Gamers.
this stream is over, that too. But when this stream is over, if it was on Twitch, it's gone forever. It's
yeah.
not there anymore.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean,
why
in a
you see
way,
a lot of
there's
people on Twitch, they'll stay on them down there all day long. You'll see them literally doing
yeah,
nothing, and
that's what they do for a living.
and exactly, and they're making all this money though. Like you're saying, I don't understand that.
I'm with Lena. I want paid to do shots. Is that so wrong? I mean,
We should try this, Tony.
I mean,
We
there's
should
nothing
try
wrong
to
with
go
that.
Twitch one night. We should bring this onto Twitch one night because we can go on.
Well,
I just looked.
here's
You can stream onto Twitch.
so with this, you don't have to worry about an OBS because the only other way to stream is using OBS, which there's a lot of free OBS software out there, but like Sling has a thing that goes right on your camera and it's your OBS software. It's money you got to take out of your pocket. Where here, all I got to do is open my laptop, type in what I'm doing, and I've got to work to get where I'm going, and I'm not afraid to put in that work. It's going to feel good when I get there, but getting there is the hard part. And here's the thing. Remember, we talked, I believe it was Super Bowl Sunday, about Quibi. You recall that conversation about Quibi? Quibi, I just read some more into it because Quibi is basically for people with ADHD. Quibi is a short form
Like
broadcasting. Yeah, it's literally every show on there is less than 10 minutes long. So it's not going to be a streaming platform, which I thought it was going to be. That's the way they talked about it. But it's going to be like an HBO Go or a Netflix or this or that. But it's short stream.
They have like normal TV shows on there?
That I have to look back on. But everything is supposed to be on and off. It's their own network. It's going to be like a mobile network. And as far as I know, Quibi is not going to be on smart TVs. It's only going to be on mobile and tablets. That's the way I understand it. And see, this doesn't even launch. Yes, it is. I didn't see the price point, but I know that it launches the end of this month. Yeah, everything that is filmed is 10 minutes or less. So if you want to, it's really more for people that want something entertaining that they can watch in between something they're doing. Or, let's face it, we live in a world where people have no patience to build a series and to watch a series. QUIBI.
Okay.
Let me bring it up here. Yeah. Could be quick bites, big stories. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it. I always get lost trying to find what I want to share.
I'm curious if what they're.
Yeah, there it is right there. Everything from what I read is all originals.
So go to.
Now there's going to be, they've got trailers on here, which I'd play them, but I don't know what's going to happen if copyright wise.
Yeah.
But it's launching April 6th. It's going to be, it's going to be on iOS and Android.
Yeah. Well.
But everything is supposedly, and I know I've already said it and I'm repeating myself. But like they're going to have Punked on here.
Punked.
Which no one's watched Punk for 37 years.
No. What's their story?
Hit that and see what comes up.
Our story. Yeah, I'm curious to see that too.
I didn't plug my mouse into this, so I can't. I
That's all
hate using
right.
these little. Yeah.
There's
Like a
some
bunch of
great
silicon.
people too. A bunch of
Yeah.
senior citizens.
I mean that, and I mean they've got younger people like in marketing and stuff, but
They don't look that much younger though. Bunch of senior
yeah,
citizens. That's
it doesn't show the price point. Which if I'm pre-ordering, I want to know the price point on it. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe it's here under news. Here it is. The ambitious short form content platform designed specifically for smartphones. Which I I can't say whether or not I think it's going to stick around and do anything.
I don't
But
think it is, honestly.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'll be honest. I have tried to watch Netflix or HBO Go on my phone, like trying to watch
It
something like getting ready to
sucks.
fly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
when we flew,
You can't do
when
it.
you fly Southwest, they've got channels that you can watch for free. And
Mm-hmm.
I've tried, and I wound up taking one of my kids' tablets and putting it on the table just because you can watch free movies. And I tried to watch
Right.
Captain Marvel on it because it had just come out on video, and I wound up shutting it off and bringing my kids' tablet up and watching it on their Amazon Fire just because.
Right.
Even as far as we've come with phones, and I mean, I've got the S10 Plus, which is not much smaller than like the Galaxy Note, and it just didn't quite sit right on the screen, especially because a lot of phones now have like the curved bezels, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so that when you open a full screen, you lose some of it. It curves out a little bit. Maybe these are going to, when you turn
Yeah.
it sideways, it's going to fit perfectly for your curved bezel phones,
Maybe.
which would be
Yeah, maybe.
nice. But I'm just not a. I get invested in shows, and if you give them to me in 10 minutes at a
Yeah.
time, I can't do that because you don't have enough time to
Yeah.
invest in the characters. You're never going to have
It's
enough time to care.
like really like yeah, and it's like who's agreeing to make these like 10-minute shows? Series a 10-minute show. Like who's agreeing to that? You got to be
Well,
in some
if
serious need of some money to do that as an actor.
well, and it also could be a thing. You're if it's a 10-minute show, there's not going to be as much involved. You're not going to be on set all day to film a 10-minute show. So maybe they're
This is
like, well,
true.
I can film 10 different shows, in a day,
Yeah.
and I don't have to. My casting call is going to be at 6 in the morning. We're going to film till 1 in the morning, and we've got 4 episodes shot.
Yeah.
There's not as much room for mistakes in it either. So, I mean, from a
Yeah.
money
No.
standpoint, think about when uh, series decide, okay, are we going to be a 30-minute show? Are we going to be a 1 hour show? We've got series content to show, so we need that hour. And because we need that hour and these actors are going to ask for this much money, we can only afford to do a 10 episode season,
Yeah.
because, and even when you were growing up, when I was growing up, and one of the shows that I bring up a lot when I talk about how well
I know
shows
which one
used
you're
to be
bringing
made,
up.
MASH,
Bring it up. Yeah, I knew it.
and I have seen every episode that MASH has ever made, probably 100 plus times over. And I can still go back and watch them. And there's something in that show I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't quite
Yeah.
catch what they did here. And they were 23 minutes long, and they did 23 episodes a year. Now they want to do 1 hour shows, but they only want to do 8 episodes. And then
I know. It
cut it
sucks.
and then come back in the spring and show you another 8 episodes.
Well, I'm gonna give you. I
Where
know. if you're, for Cartoon Network. I mean, come on, it's me, but you got that show Rick and Morty, right? I don't know if you're familiar with it or not.
Which I know it, but I've never watched it.
Right. So right now, they came back with their new season. They did half the season, which was like 4 episodes, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll be back later with the rest. It's like this is after like 3 years of them waiting to come back with the season. It's like, come on, are you
Sorry, I
serious?
missed it. Good night, Lena. Have a good night.
Good night, Lena. And it's like you're only doing a 30-minute cartoon, but it's like we used to get a brand new cartoon every day. We used to get a brand new cartoon growing up. It's like really.
Well, yeah. And there was 20 different shows on a Saturday morning over 3 different networks. I mean, come on. I mean, even though it's not exactly my favorite, but they even did multiple shows of He-Man running around in his underwear.
How is He-Man not your favorite? Everybody loved He-Man.
It's not. Well, everybody loved He-Man, but I won't say it was the worst thing I ever watched. You know what? After we talked about that one night, I went back and thought about all the shows I watched growing up. And I remember watching that quite a bit. Well, I must have liked it at one time. I think just over the
Yeah.
years, thinking back on how well done cartoons used to be, it wasn't one of my favorites because I don't know. But here's one that I just thought of the other night, and I wanted to remember to bring it up tonight. And I'm sure you watched it. Advance or Dungeons and Dragons. You remember the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? You didn't like it.
Didn't like it. Did not like it.
Because it didn't fit in with what Dungeons and Dragons were or was, or because of the way it was done, period. Okay.
It's style.
That's fair enough.
Like I didn't like that. Like I know a lot of people that were like, "Oh, the dragon cartoon," this. I didn't like it. I did not like that kind of style of animation growing up. Like I just didn't. If you were gonna do that kind of style of animation, it needed to be like Thundercats or things like that.
Thundercats was a good one.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons came out and Double Dragon and all that. We were kind of beyond that like G.I. Joe stage, you know what I mean? That G.I. Joe cartoon was like that animation. Past that already, and we needed to. I wasn't gonna sit here and be like, and then I could sit there and do that, or I can go and like watch Tailspin or something, which was style and look better, look cleaner, So.
Come on, Jonathan. GoBots were great.
GoBots were horrible.
But they were ghetto Transformers. Not every kid could go out and get Transformers, but they could get GoBots. So I mean, so that
now they're expensive.
Yeah, but compared to Transformers, GoBots were the ghetto Transformer. But you look them up on eBay now, they're worth a fortune.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now that we're kind of on the subject of, did she bring you a snake?
I don't know what she has. She has. I don't know.
I was looking over that game.
Which game were you looking over?
That Master Debater.
Oh gosh, she was looking that Master Debater game. She was just looking. She found something hilarious with it.
Master what?
Stop. Stop. Wait, what? Do these kids need to? What? Get out of here. Get out. One of the cards is like, do these kids need to get off my lawn?
Yes, get off my lawn.
Like some of these. Oh my gosh! If you want to be my lover, you have to get with my friends. Wow. Wow. What
Okay, with a question like that, you're talking
this-
about me saying master what?
yeah, exactly. Is a spork more fork? Are Girl Scout cookies actually superior to all cookies? Oh yeah, wow. This game needs to be played. Making applications for anybody that wants to join a stream with us.
It's like complicated though. We're gonna have
It's
to figure
complicated.
out
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna green way to do it.
Okay. Well,
Well,
that's your
and
job.
the thing
Have
is
fun with that.
with a game like that, most games the object is to win and hopefully not lose. So how do you determine a winner or loser in a game like Master Debaters? I mean, with the first, everybody's a winner, but the second, I don't know how. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, because everyone's going to be different. Not everybody's going. Nobody's. That the whole idea is to argue.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah,
Pokemon.
I'm sitting down.
Gotta them all. Let them run free.
Isn't that the idea
How
of the
about-
game? To catch them all. Just wondering.
Can I add a third option?
What's that?
Barbecue.
Sure.
them.
No. You can have barbecue.
We're gonna barbecue Pokemon. We're gonna have a
Here's
Pokemon
something for you.
roast.
Do you have a Google Home Mini?
Because Jess won't let me get one because she says they're going to spy on us. But yet we have.
Yes. What are
Androids.
they going to spy on you about? What do you have to hide there, Jess Kurtz?
That is what I'm saying. And
I've got 2 of them.
I'm like, we have androids. They're spying on us already. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They
At least the Google Home Mini doesn't have a camera on it. Now here's the funny thing, because my boys love the Porgs from the Star Wars
Yeah.
Force Awakens, and if
Yeah.
you ask it how to roast a Porg, it will find a recipe out there and go step by step and tell you how to defeather a Porg, how to marinate the Porg, and what you should cook the Porg
See?
on, and everything. It is hilarious.
This is going to bring my next point up. Is I don't think it's the fact that she's listening to us. I think it's for the fact of she knows what Danny's going to do with the Google Home. It'll be blah 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 blah, and all day long. Because I do it with my phone as it is, and she's like, "Will you
Yep.
stop?" To her. So.
Well, the thing that I don't know if Google realized it was coming through and they got rid of it or not. When I first got it, I asked it to read the book, the children's book, Go the F to Sleep. You ever heard that?
Okay.
It's voiced over by Samuel L. Jackson. I asked it to read that story one day, and all of a sudden, here's Samuel L. Jackson going, "Go the F to sleep." And my wife's like, "That thing's really playing that?" I'm like, "Yes, how awesome is this?" And and then my kids found things they could do on it, and I don't know what changed or from when I changed the settings or not, but it's different now. It doesn't bring up a lot of the things that it used to. My son has one, and what's nice is my phone is connected to both the one in my son's room and the one in our kitchen. And it doesn't matter where I'm at, as long as these have a Wi-Fi connection and my phone has a cellular connection. If I say the magic words to it and say broadcast followed by whatever I want to tell, you'll hear a beep on both of them, and it will my voice. Because what I used to do is when I'd be on my way home for picking up my two sons in the town where they go to school, I'll be on the
Yeah,
way
like, hey, I'm on
home
my
and
way.
yep, and I'll tell the kids to take Max out or do this or do that. And if they're in the same room with it at the time, they can say the words reply and answer me back, and it'll come up on my phone and play what
Oh,
they said
okay.
in return, which is really neat. And
Right.
if I'm
So it's like
outside with
an intercom system.
yep, and which it's when my son is upstairs in his room and he's got the door closed, he's got like pardon me, YouTube on or something, and he's not going to hear me hollering up the steps because our steps wrap around and goes up.
Right.
So
Right.
if he doesn't hear me when I holler, I just pick up my phone and say the magic words and say, broadcast Brandon, come here. And all of a sudden, about 30 seconds later, I'll hear, Dad, are you hollering for me? I'm like, well, you heard it, didn't you? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, that's kind of cool, except for the fact that now I'm the one you call all the time when you need something. I'm like, well, that's the way it works. The one that was here
Exactly.
backstage with me earlier, and he loves it
Yeah.
because, with his sensory stuff, one of the things he loves is when he goes upstairs at night, instead of watching TV for a half an hour to get him off to bed, he'll go upstairs and he'll say the magic words and be like, play fireplace sound. And it plays the sound of a
Yeah.
roaring fire. And he's like, this thing is really awesome, Dad. You wouldn't believe the stuff you can do with it. And if I'm wanting to make something I've never made, I'll say the magic words and be like, I need a recipe for
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. And it will say,
Exactly.
sometimes it doesn't give you exactly what you're looking for. And it'll actually say, is this what you want? And if you say no, it'll find you another one. And then
They'll find another
you
one.
have the
Yeah.
option, of it to just go and tell you all the ingredients, or it'll say, do you want me to give you step-by-step instructions? So it'll actually read a part of the web page that
Yeah.
it found it on, and then it'll go quiet. And then when you're done, you just say the magic words.
Click
You say
next.
next. Yep, and it goes to the next step. Which is, I mean, you can't save any of it, of course. But
Right.
another thing that I really enjoy about it, like if
But
I'm
does it
playing my
keep
Pandora,
your phone? Does it keep a log on your phone of what you did?
yes and no. Some things it will, like if you got something from a website, like you go into your Google privacy settings, and you can go into your history, like of the things that, like it'll tell you. The scary thing about Google is it'll be like, okay, you went 1.6 miles down this road, stopped, turned around, and went back. Because it's
Oh, it's
constantly.
like when you're using Google Maps, it'll tell you where you parked your car. Like,
Yep.
like, oh, you're at work and have a good day at work. It's like, what? Stop telling me have a good day at work. Leave me alone.
Well, after a while, like you drive to the same place every day. Well, you drive to a couple of different places, but like if you go every Monday for a couple of weeks to the grocery store, it'll come up on Monday and be like, traffic's bad and you're in this area because it knows that
Yeah.
you're normally driving to that area,
Yeah.
which I
And
like
I
it.
like that.
There's a part of
Yeah.
But there's also a part of me that's like, okay, you're keeping track of too much of what I'm doing. And you can limit a lot of that stuff, but
You can turn
my
it
thing
off.
is if I lived in a big city, that thing would be perfect because I know that after you start establishing a pattern like driving to work every day, and if you happen to be
Mm-hmm.
off on that day, it may come up on your phone as you get closer to it, and it'll tell you you should leave now because traffic, blah, blah, blah. And the thing I like with the Google Maps, that things like Waze and what was the old map system? It's still out there, MapQuest. You know, if
Yeah.
you with Google Maps, like when I take my son to the doctor up north, about an hour and a half drive, but I mean, we're going through two major cities, including that one,
Mm-hmm.
and really bad traffic. So if I'm going at a certain time of the day, I'll bring it up in the maps and I won't put in the time I want to leave. I'll put in the time I want to be there. And what it'll
Right.
do is it will go through the history of maps in that area and be like, it takes 90 minutes
Yeah.
to get here, but based on the time you're going, it'll say you should leave at this time instead because of traffic patterns. And you know what? I've had times where I've went.
When my alarm goes off in the morning, I'll look at that because I'll be like, oh, all right, there's an accident on the way to work. Let me leave
Yep.
earlier. And Google is definitely my friend. I mean, I love my Android because of that. And if I had, Apple, I think I would be lost because.
Okay, Shelley. Well, have you ever
Okay,
seen
Shelley.
Google Routines?
No. No.
Okay,
There's
Google
so much Google
Routines.
apps that I haven't even touched.
Oh, yep. There goes my Google Assistant. It heard me say the word Google. But like when I go to bed at night, I go into the bedroom, I plug my phone in, and I say the magic words, and I tell it good night. I just say the words good night. And what it does is it comes up, and you can set it to do whatever you want with that word. But what I have is I always set 2 alarms, and they're 2 minutes apart, just because I've got a smartwatch. And what happens sometimes is I'll be sleeping, and my hand will be by it, and I'll just out of instinct swipe it up and shut off my alarm.
Yeah.
So I set them 2 minutes apart just so I know to walk in. But I walk in the room and I say, okay, and then I say good night, and it comes up and says tomorrow it'll be whatever the weather's going to be and what to expect, and it'll say what time do you want me to set the alarm for?
Right. You see what Jonathan said?
Yeah, this one here, this one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Jonathan.
You know what? They can watch me all they want. I'm not doing nothing wrong.
I've got nothing at all to hide from anybody. My son was so happy on Christmas when he opened up his Google, because he wanted one at his mom's house, and he's begged her for over a year because he loves the one I got. I told my wife, I said, we're buying him one because for one, he's got the sensory issues. And one of the things that he stated to me for the last 2 years, when I am mad, I want to go to my room and listen to music. Now he's got an iPod and he's got a Fire Stick, so he can put on music. He can do whatever you want. But he's got one more safeguard there. He can just, he's walking into his room. He can just say the magic words and be like, play. And he may, because my kids, this is how I know I'm raising them right. They know who Johnny Cash is. They know who Waylon Jennings is, and they know who Slipknot is. They're very eclectic with music. They know a lot of music. They don't just know the K-pop stuff that's out there, and there's nothing wrong with people like that. But my thing is I want my kids to know music. I've heard days where
when music was good.
Yep. I've had days where I've heard him go up those steps and he's mad and he says the magic words and he says, play Johnny Cash. And you'll hear Johnny Cash start playing, and he'll be up there for a while and back down he comes and he'll be like, I'm still mad. I'm like, well, then go listen to some more music. Or go outside and ride your bike. But something on his thing and search for what he wants. He just says the words, play, done.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And I liked it. I looked at both the Home Mini and I looked at the Dot that Amazon has, which for him, I kind of wish I'd bought him the Dot because I bought him a Fire Stick for his TV, and they'll work together. Where the Google will not. I've read that you can do it, but it's not that easy, and it doesn't always mesh well. So, and every time one updates, it's going to change whatever it is. So I was just like, buddy, because the Fire Stick I got him is voice activated.
Right.
So, I mean, he doesn't really need
I have that one too. Yeah, you push the button on the remote and but the one thing Google failed at, I'll tell you this right now, was Google Chromecast.
See, he wanted me to get him one of those, and they don't quite work the same way a Fire Stick or Roku does, if I'm not mistaken. It's not really a smart product.
You need to have the app on your
Yep.
phone, and then broadcast it to the Chromecast to put it onto the TV.
Yep.
It's just basically screen sharing your phone to your TV. That's all it is.
Yeah. Hey,
Like,
there's the music.
yeah, exactly. Like, does he have an Xbox?
He doesn't have it in his room. There's a 360 in the boys' room, and then R1 is downstairs in the basement.
Because the Xbox is actually a Chromecast.
Oh, is it?
Is a Chromecast device. Yeah, so you can actually stream, like if you had HBO Go on your phone, you can
Mm-hmm.
Chromecast from your phone and Chromecast it onto the Xbox.
Okay. But anymore, so many TVs, that have that are smart TVs. You don't even need the Chromecast anymore. You just bring up
No, you don't.
whatever you're watching on your phone. You hit the little TV button, and it'll actually find your TV and share out to it.
But you know what that is? That's the Chromecast built into the TV.
Well,
All it is.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
Chromecast built into the TV, because my Vizio is it has Chromecast built in. Them won't, because some of them are Amazon TVs, but 90%
Yeah.
of TVs out there are like Android products.
Jonathan, tell your mom you love her, but the boys are on.
They yeah, so like I know with my phone I stream onto my TV also.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a Chromecast product. Google snatched that up real quick on the TVs. So
Yeah, and I mean I and the thing is, I know it's there, but with the
you don't need
Roku
it.
smart TV, no,
Yeah.
anything you want to cast off to your TV. I mean, unless it's a video you took on your phone, I can put the app on my TV. And the
See,
TVs they
I
put out
really
now,
I regret not getting the for my Hulu, because I needed, if I was gonna do the Hulu Live for like through the TV. I mean, I have ways around it to do my Hulu Live, but to do my Hulu Live for my for like my normal TV stuff, because I don't have the cable.
Mm-hmm.
I do the live the subscription through Hulu, which is so much easier for me. And the regular like the Vizios and stuff like that won't do
Mm-hmm.
Hulu Live. You can do Hulu, but you can't do the live TV. If I had the on the TV, then I can do the live.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem with like a lot of these Vizios that have their own smart adaptations, and Samsung did a really nice job with theirs. We had a Samsung smart TV. The thing I didn't like about it, though, is the availability of apps the way that Roku is. Or if you don't have a smart TV, the Amazon Fire Stick is so much better and more advanced than the Roku system. But your Roku TV, I feel, is a very powerful engine. And there's so many things available, like you can't get the Roku channel without a Roku. And the Roku channel itself may be one of the best channels out there, because they've got so many free movies. I mean, there's a lot of platforms that have free movies, but if I'm looking for something that's been out for a while and it's not on like regular TV or one of my subscriptions, I've here lately I've watched all three of the Matrix movies. I've watched countless other movies because I'll go to the little search tab on my Roku TV.
Yeah.
And it'll come up $2.99, $3.99, $3.99, free on the Roku channel.
And then
it's like,
free.
well, where am I going to go? I mean, you got to put up with a couple commercials, but I mean, they're like
So what?
3 10-second commercials a piece, like
If
a
you're
couple of
watching on
times throughout a 2-hour
TNT or
movie.
TBS or something, you will watch a
Yep.
commercial. You know, that's what
Yeah.
the Hulu TV. Hulu TV, they it's commercial free, but it's really
Mhm.
not. They let
No,
you
it's
skip
not.
commercials. But
Welcome back, Noah.
like even if I was like DVR'd it onto
Uh-huh.
Hulu, sometimes it won't let me skip commercials because for some whatever reason. But then there's some sets of commercials that'll let me fast forward through. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
It is what it is. I
Hulu
have
works
a
a lot
cheaper
like
form of
regular TV.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no. Yeah, I've not had. I've asked her which one she wanted. Was either it was either that or I was going with YouTube TV. So, but the channels are on Hulu. So, and I had Hulu
Yeah,
anyway, so we're like, why not just do it all through one spot? So,
I've got a deal with DirecTV right now that is almost better than what I know it's probably around the same price. I've got the DirecTV package with all the sports channels, and I've got HBO, and they gave me a 2-year deal with the contract when I first got it, and because our local is it Time Warner? Yeah, Time Warner, and I had 5 different boxes, and it didn't matter where I pointed the remote. I could stand right in front of it and press that button, and it wouldn't work. And and after that 2 years, of course, they want you to pay that outrageous price that they want for TV. And I called them, and because my bill, because they're supposed to inform you when it's time for your contract to be up. Never got any information about it. I called them, and I went through the roof. My bill went up over $100 from 1 month to the next. Actually, more than that. And I called him, and
that's
I
the reason why we
went off.
switched. I was like, I was tired of that price increase and all that. At least I don't have that price. That's it. If I don't pay the bill, they're not calling me or whatever. It goes back on whenever I pay the bill again. I mean, I have it on automatic pay, but still, it's so much easier.
Well, when they got done, I kept the HBO, my DirecTV bill, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 6 boxes in the house. And my bill every month is $62.
Okay.
And I mean, to have that many, and I've even got the wireless system in 3 of the rooms.
Right.
Which is nice because when they came in, my house is 118 years old, I think, and they've added on a couple of rooms in the partial basement. The part that wasn't dug out. And the guy looked at me and he goes, "I don't know if I can get a line to these rooms." And he goes, "We do have its wireless system." He goes, "It's going to cost you $99 up front." He goes, "I'll get it there somehow, but are you interested in this?" I'm like, "You know what? Yeah, because I can take those from the one, which I took it from one room and I took it to another. I can put them anywhere, and I don't need, as long as and he said I could try it. I may be able to take one of them out to my garage, put a TV out there, which would be nice. I mean, if it doesn't reach, it doesn't reach. But he gets that in there, and if you go through a cable company anymore, you can't just hook up a cable to the back of your TV anymore. You have to have a box anywhere in the nation for every TV. And these companies want $10 a box. I'm paying what I'm paying for the cable boxes is pretty much what I'm paying because my 2-year contract was up, so that equipment's now mine. So I'm not paying for the boxes anymore. I'm just paying for my TV, which the lady even told me on the phone. She goes, when you know your time's about up, she goes, call before. She goes, because she goes, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. You're going to get this same deal again if you call back. $2 a month for everything I get, even with HBO, that's unheard of.
Exactly.
I can take my TV with me on my phone or on a tablet. So, which is nice.
The Hulu. I have two TVs or a TV and a device going at the same time. So it's like I on the go. Like I can go to work if it's a really slow day, like these past few days at work. I can actually sit there and watch TV if I wanted to.
So you're saying it's not a busy time for oil changes right now?
No, it's not.
How do you find time for TV between the oil changes and the switch? I know you got the switch with you.
Don't worry about the switch. Just saying, don't worry about the switch. So let's not, forget the YouTube and stuff in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With everything
I
going
may
on,
have,
there's just not a lot of new news out there either.
I may just have 3 different screens going at one time in my office, but
You
just
might.
saying, I just might.
That's like on Friday nights when I'm at the bowling alley after I get all the leagues going. Everything just kind of slows down for about 2 hours because half of the actually 3/4 of the house is league bowlers, so there's only so many open lanes. Once I get those leagues going and I get everybody on all their other lanes, my phone goes up and something goes on. I mean, I don't have much to do until it's time to start bringing in scores and checking people out. And there's people that's come up. It's funny because on Friday nights, there's all sorts of live stuff all over YouTube going on. So I'll be flipping through from one thing to the next to the next. And like one minute I might have something Disney going and people will be like, do I hear Disney music playing in the background? Because you'll hear like the rides or something, or you hear something, or I might be watching a video from something like I was running you guys' stuff for watch time one night, and someone was like, why do I hear a roller coaster? And I hold it up, be like, 2 real geeks.
Exactly.
Be like if because all we know here, pretty much, around here is Cedar Point, Kings Island, and maybe a few others, people might travel to, be like, hey, check this out. If you want something to watch, I mean, they do all sorts of stuff in Georgia, no matter who I have on, because usually especially later into Friday night, I'm either watching something Disney related, or I'm watching you guys' stuff or running you guys' stuff in the background and be like, here you go.
It's awesome.
And I've had so many people that have come back in on a Friday night and been like, yeah, I went and checked out this, or I went and checked out that, and be like, well, that's good. So you've probably gained a few subscribers from me just being like, they're
that's
just
awesome.
riding roller coasters.
That's great.
Because I've even told my boss before, hey, after I get things going, I brought my phone up right here, and he's like, well, as long as things are getting done, and I'm not sitting there. Get those people that can't get away from their phones, and you see them, you'll be walking up to get something, and they'll be like, just a minute.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not just a minute.
I'm here in front of you, and they're not. They're in your screen. I'm person here. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You can always finish typing that after I pay you for the goods I've got, so that in turn the company can pay you.
People don't think that way. They do not think that way.
And speaking of that, and I did it one day, and I felt horrible about it, but it was
Yeah.
I'd been waiting on a phone call to come in. I hate when you're in a line somewhere because I feel bad for the people working. They're sitting there and they're trying to get things done, like especially at a grocery store, especially a busy day, they're trying to get people checked out. And all of a sudden someone's like, oh, hold on, I got a phone call. And they'll be talking to that person. You have
And you
voicemail.
can tell it's not even like a business related or anything else like that.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's an important phone call. You're like, oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
Oh, Darlene, you got your
we'll make it
bunion removed
quiet.
today?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not up and get out of
There's
line first.
two pet peeves that I have on their damn phones are the ones that you see in the supermarket and have to play their music so the whole
Yep.
damn supermarket hears. I don't know when this has
Oh.
become a new thing. And put everything on speakerphone also. Like why?
That drives
Why all of a sudden have we noticed speakerphone? And then why the hell must everybody video chat? What is wrong with doing this? What's wrong with this? Yeah. Oh wait, look at this. Look at that. Like, I'll do it with Jess, but only when I need to know. It's like, hey, which one do you want?
Yep. And usually I don't even do that. I snap a picture and I text it to her and I go on about what I'm doing. Then I go back and get it.
I mean,
Unless she answers me.
I'll video, but it's just like you get a faster response, because it's like I'm there. I'm that type of person. I want a response now. I don't want to, So it's like, hey, I'll call her on the phone. Hey, hold on a second. I'm going to switch you over. And which one? Okay, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. And
Especially
Jonathan
this
just put
video
this
chat,
here. I would blow a gasket. I would have a manager involved in that. I would. No,
It sounds like
you are not there to
one of
be
the
on your
employees
phone.
I fired. One of my employees I fired because of that.
What is so important, you can't put that phone down. I understand we live in a world of instant gratification. When someone texts you, you feel compelled to see who texted you and to respond. It's been conditioned within us, and we've allowed ourselves to condition ourselves that way.
Don't swipe and look and continue on what you're doing. That's fine. That's acceptable, and I get it. I really do.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. But then it's when you go,
But
oh,
you don't need to.
about that. I just had to check without. But if you're not a person in charge at the store or something, well, put it in your pocket and stay there.
Yeah, and I'm as a parent, I understand the need to check your phone, and it's one of those things that if I'm in a line getting checked out at, just say, a grocery store, and the person there pulls a phone out of their pocket and looks real quick and just swipes, puts it back in their pocket, no harm, no foul. Or even take a look and be like,
also of the age of where if you were at the supermarket, I know I don't even have to ask you. I know that you wouldn't even have that phone out like that. You would make sure the kids had the phone out. So if anything happened, you go that, and if you went on break or something, that's when you would check the phone, or sneak it out the pocket real quick and back in, and not in front of a customer.
well, and that's one of the reasons why I have this. My text comes through right here. And while I'm going, I can, like, especially when I'm at work, now I can't carry my phone in my pocket because, for one, I hate things in my pocket. So mine has a hip case. My phone is turned down. So when it goes off, nobody hears it. And when I'm doing what I'm doing, I can glance down at my watch and see what was said. Now, not everybody can have both. And I'm not saying that that's the answer. We've came as a society, we have forgotten how to respect the people around us.
Right.
I don't care if you're walking through the store talking to somebody. I don't want to hear the whole conversation.
Right.
for one.
Don't put it on
And
speaker.
I don't want to
I
be
don't care about that.
I don't want to be next person in line and someone goes, "Oh, I got to take this because Madge is getting a bunion removed. I got to make sure she's okay." It's a goddamn bunion. Put the phone down.
Yeah, Jonathan. Either way, it's still not right. Earpiece or not, it should not. If you're store manager, I'm going to tell you, it does not fly. Like
Yeah,
I had a cashier that we fired because their phone propped up against the monitor. Well, nobody can see my phone. Yeah, but the problem is you're video chatting all the time, and the customers hear nasty, ratchet phone calls and conversations that you're. Yeah, well, I'm not the one saying this stuff, but you're the one on the phone call. Goodbye.
yeah,
If that's
yeah,
the friends you want to bring,
yeah,
that you want to have, people know that you're associated with in public. No, I don't need you. Goodbye.
yeah. Because people forget that the things that your friends are doing reflects back on you, and in turn, it reflects back on the managers in place.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer for all this because as a world, we, and I always say it and I'll say it again, we are a world of instant gratification. You know, when you go to Disney, you want those fast passes, and as soon as you use them, you got to get more because you don't want to wait in line for an hour for a ride. And then when you go to Six Flags over Georgia, you don't want to wait an hour to ride a roller coaster because everything should be here right now. And
Yeah.
that's like, I've got one son that is willing to ride every roller coaster at Cedar Point, and he's like, "Well, I'm not going to wait in line for an hour for a ride." And I'm like, "Dude, an hour?
Yeah.
I waited 4 hours to ride the first um, light coaster when it premiered at Six Flags Ohio in the X Flight. Which it now as a wing coaster. When it came out as the X Flight in Ohio, it was the first flying coaster. I waited 4 hours. For an hour for a 1 minute and 25-second roller coaster. I waited 4 hours, and it never bothered me.
That's
And
what I
you
was
know
going to say,
what?
but you would never change that again. You would do it again if you could.
No, no, yeah, because that coaster is no longer in existence because it went from Six Flags Ohio, went to Kings Island, and then they removed it. Now there are more coasters like it out there now, but it was brand new. It was a brand new thing, and that whole, that when that thing flipped over and your body dropped a little bit and it took off like you were really flying, I wouldn't change that moment for all the gold in the world. Well, all the gold in the world, I'd take that and then try to remember it. But people now
See,
will go and spend $50 for a ticket into Cedar Point, and then go pay another 75 so that they could skip the line instead of going, okay, we'll get there at 10 in the morning.
For somebody like you, no, it's not worth it. But if it's someone like me coming in from out of town, I get it. But
Yeah,
here's the thing: is I'm not going into that park without evaluating my situations, or at least trying to get a ride or two what the lines are like first. You know what I mean? I'm not
yeah,
going in and saying, "Here's $50. Where's my fast pass line?" Where
yeah,
do I get this? I'm gonna go in like, all right, looks okay, and then maybe after a ride or two, I'll be like, all right, we waited a little too long. I travel. Yeah, we're doing it.
yeah.
See,
Well, yeah,
this right
especially
here.
like you travel.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Go
Here's
ahead.
here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
There's no way to relearn to survive without it because we know the very next day we're going to have it right back. You know, I don't know where we just need to relearn patience because
Like
the phone and the internet is a very valuable tool, but we need to learn to
I'm gonna
handle.
tell you right. The phone, I can. You want to take my phone? Fine. Take my phone feature away from me. Just make this an internet device for me, and I'm good. Number one, I know how we got news before internet. I was around for that. You were too, Tony. So you understand what I'm
Yep.
about to say is when you found out it was the day after or hours afterwards.
Yep.
You know, um, unless it was something major like 9/11, like right after 9/11 really became big. I mean, because that's when things started being pushed out. Like before that, you really didn't have anything, no notifications. Like in
Yep.
least now, honestly, I like the fact that I'm able to get notification on what's going on. You know, either fun related, is and like what we're dealing with now in the world. But
Yep.
I like the fact that I'm able to do that. I like the fact that if I don't know, I'm able to look it up. You know, I mean, to use the internet as a tool, as somebody like, you know, I do, or people like the kids right now, they don't use it as a tool. It's a toy. The internet is a toy to them. It's a given.
Yep.
It's a given right. You know, and it's not that way. Um, like I know how to go. Like I'll go and pick up a newspaper. I know how to find things, and newspapers are broken up into sections. A lot of people
Yep.
don't know all of this, and to like it's finding things out right there and then of what's going on around me.
One
And
of the things I
it's
enjoy, like with my son Brandon,
yeah,
you talk about, you know, kids use it as a toy. You know,
yeah,
I've said a few times because of the situations that we deal with Brandon. We just had our first two cases in our tiny little town of confirmed, you know, virus.
mm-hmm.
And the discussion in our house last night between me and my wife was, we just won't tell him right now, because the
Right,
anxiety and the worry that he gets. Well, he comes down this morning, not thinking about the fact that he has his own iPod, and he said
yeah,
he asked me if because they weren't diagnosed in town, they had to go about a half an hour north.
right,
Found out that he had virus, and I go, he goes, did you know that? And I go, I knew that. I said, but I didn't know you knew that. And he goes, well, I'm not worried about it. He goes, I was just checking out the news, and he'll do stuff like that. He'll click on web
yeah,
pages and he'll go and read the news to know because he wants to
yeah,
know what's going on in the world. And there's not
yeah.
enough kids that want to know the news. They want to
So
know
he
when their
uses
next.
it as a tool and not a toy. You know,
Yep. Now, don't get me wrong.
well, I'm going to go on and I mean, we all use it as a toy. I mean, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
This is a toy for us. I mean, really, come on. Without the internet,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing. But
We wouldn't be all random.
yeah, I mean, look, exactly. Or I wouldn't be able to go on and play a video game online with somebody halfway across the world. I mean, come on. But I also find myself using it for more good. Um, really, if it
Yep.
wasn't for the internet, credit cards wouldn't be anything right now.
They coming to get you, Danny? Is that you?
Uh,
Sirens outside?
that, they're like far away too. I'm really surprised
Yeah, I could hear it.
they're not coming to get me. If we saw a light coming from the sky with circular motions around it or something, like beam coming down, that might be
Yep.
coming for me. So
That would be it.
yeah, that
What
would be
Shelly
it.
just wrote right here, every kid our age
Yep.
couldn't wait
Yep.
until our parents got the Sunday newspaper so we could get those comments. And you know, I have over the years went back and looked at some comics here and there, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it's because I was a kid, they felt funnier, but they almost feel like they are just put out there now. When they are put out there, they don't feel
Uh-huh.
funny anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they felt
That's because
hilarious
they
back
know
in the day.
nobody. They know them. That's why. Nobody reads the Sunday comics anymore. And
You know
you're
what
right.
cracks me up is
They were pretty.
Calvin and Hobbes was the greatest thing ever on a Sunday morning.
But it was the most controversial comic that you would have came across.
Yeah. That and the Far Side.
Yeah.
Far Side did some pretty outlandish stuff from time to time too.
Yep.
You know, what makes this virus so badly timed is they say don't touch your mouth, your nose, or your eyes. It's allergy season. That's all I've done
Thank you.
is touch my eyes and
I
my
know.
nose and my mouth. My wife's like, "You're going to rub your eyes raw because you know I've got drops that I have to take because they get so bad." And it's like
Yeah.
right now, it's just I've got the corner of my eye rubbed out raw, you know, from
Yeah.
digging at it,
Oh, I know.
and you
Like
know,
it feels like you got sand in your eyes. Oh,
yeah. And you know, my lips are about half chapped
every night.
because
Every night I take the 24-hour, and it's been helping me because, like you're saying, this is the season of the green monster down here in Georgia. And when
yeah,
when it rains, it usually washes all this stuff, washes the air off and everything. And
hmm
yeah, no, not down here. It just makes it into this green paste.
yeah. I would love to be able to just take Claritin and everything would be good, but it's just not strong enough for my eyes, and I'm constantly with drops and the nasal, you know, the saline nasal
The
spray along
Claritin,
with
I
everything
found the
else.
trick. The trick with the Claritin I found was the first time you take it, the first dose you take, or double up on that dose, and then you got it. You have to take it every day, and then it builds up in you. If you miss one day, double it up the next time you take it again because it just needs to be built up and that constant flow going.
Yeah. Have a good night, Noah.
Uh, that's what works for me. So I mean,
Yeah, these allergies. I mean, I've always wanted to go figure out exactly what it is and maybe take the shot. Maybe it would help my eyes. But the Claritin, the drops, saline spray, and then just hope for the
yeah,
best.
yeah. It's funny because Jess would take Benadryl every once in a while. Good night. We'll see you in 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Benadryl for me is what I take when I can't sleep. That's
Yeah,
really all it's good for. I mean, because it'll knock you out.
yeah. So I can't take it. I can't take that Benadryl.
But it is 11:30,
Yes, it is.
and I've got early stuff to do tomorrow. Are you off tomorrow?
I am, but she wants to wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning to try to hit Kroger up again.
Did you tell her good luck with that?
No. She wants me to come with her. So
And what Mama wants, Mama gets.
happy wife, happy life.
Except, yeah, except for game night, of course.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes, it is. What are you guys playing tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet. I'm really not sure yet. We're waiting for we're actually waiting from our base, I guess you can say our sponsors now for a game night. Like
Um,
we're changing game night more to professional and
mhm.
I'm going, like going by the rules more and all that. Like yeah, me cheating. It was, it's entertaining, but realistically now we're it's still gonna be fun, but we're take it to the next level. And since we have sponsors and things coming up, and yeah, get
What
it out
was the
there.
game company again?
Has the name of it. I off the top of my head, I forget. I can get it for you and send it to you.
Okay. I think
But
we're in a
they're like
good
an
place
up
to.
and coming company. Yeah, we are in a good place. We are in a good place.
Yeah, I mean, and that is wonderful news for you guys. I hope what they send you, turns out to be entertaining games. I mean, because there's nothing worse than getting
Oh
that game
yeah.
and you try and play it and it's like, ah. But like you said,
I
up and
mean,
coming game
from
company that,
what their backstory is they met in college. Things they were like comedians and stuff like that, and now they're making games together and whatever.
well, as long as they don't
We'll
call it
figure it
master
out.
debaters and
Exactly.
ask about getting with my friends, and
Yeah.
although
Yeah.
now with this sponsorship that you have, are they okay with you playing other games as well, or do they want you to play their stuff exclusively?
They're only sending me 2 games right now, so I mean, whatever they send me, I'll obviously give them preference. But we didn't we didn't sign anything. We basically told them, hey, look, if you send us games, we'll throw the plug for you. And they were like, yep, we like that. That's what we're
Well,
looking
that's
for. I'm
cool.
looking for more people to do that with us for these game nights.
Well, that's that. I mean, plus games are not cheap. I mean, you guys talked
No,
about
they're
it that one
not.
night. Games are just not cheap,
They're not.
and if it's a game you've never played, even if it looks good, no one wants to go out and spend $50 for a board game that looks really nice just to get it home and
And
be
then it's
like, this sucks.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some out there that I
So,
want to try, but I'm like, and the money
well,
or
and that's
not.
the thing. And that's where sponsorships come in perfect. Especially, I mean, you and her have a no, Shelly. I've not gotten the Google Tilt Brush. I have to get a new VR system for our phones before I even consider getting that. I mean, because I've tried my best to get it to work in my VR, and it's just does not center up quite right. So, which if you've ever used a VR goggles and you don't put it in straight, you get that line, and then you're seeing like double and triple.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting,
Yep.
even when that thing is seated properly. So
Yep.
it fits, it plugs
Honestly,
in.
I
It
haven't
just
even
does not line up right.
found anything worthwhile. I have a VR goggle here that I put my phone into. I haven't even have not even found an app worthwhile that my phone will support to actually use it with.
What I found and what I normally used it for is because, especially before we went to Disney, my kids had never been on a roller coaster, and it
Yeah.
intrigued them. So what I would do is I would put it in there, and I would go to YouTube 360 and find 360 videos of
Okay.
roller coasters. And I mean, it is lit. If you could just throw a fan on behind you, it would make it perfect. Because it's literally like being
Yeah.
on that. It'll give you all the same feels you get from riding that roller coaster. Because it's
Okay.
all encased in you and that's
Right.
all you can see. It is perfect for stuff like
Right.
that.
Okay. I gotta
Oh,
check it out
Shelly asked
then.
the question about The Walking Dead. Have you even attempted to watch this half a season yet?
No.
I've got them all DVR'd, and every time I go to it, I'm like, I can't do it yet. I don't know why. I've got them recorded. I just can't hit that play button.
I'm over it. And we gave up on this season, honestly. Like when this season came out, we're like, yeah.
You didn't even watch the first half, right?
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and that was it. It was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And,
Every one of them just creeped along.
Yep. I mean,
Now, if you don't have the season,
get the filming locations from Atlanta and like show people where this stuff was filmed.
oh, yeah, that would be neat. Which, as long as they're not filming, I'm sure it's not closed off to the public. I mean, it doesn't look like they're at any state.
Oh, Palm Street.
Okay. Well, all right. Is there anything else you want to throw out there except for game night tomorrow night?
No, that's it. That's it. We're still gonna
I
be
wouldn't
making
look.
stuff. We're still gonna be making videos. So don't worry. Theme park or anything really fun, but we're gonna try.
Yeah, and that's me and my son Brandon tonight sat down and I asked him if he wanted to do any filming, and he wants to do some filming, and he's going to be over quite a bit. You know, especially his mom had called me tonight, and because she works for social services, they're splitting everybody up and not working full hours. So she's going to be gone a lot in the evening. So he's probably going to be spending the next couple of weeks here. So
there you go.
I'm like, buddy, I was like, we can film whatever you want. Because he even said one night, he goes, well, my mom doesn't want me on things like this. And I go, well, that's not what your mom wants. But if I want you to, if I say it's okay, we're going to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I even told him, I says, if she gets mad about it, she'll get over it.
Not sure, Shelly, what game tomorrow. Not totally sure yet. It can be anything.
Matter of fact, I hear him walking down the steps half asleep right now. For his for his first of about 3 trips down. He comes down about 3 times a night, and he's like,
snack.
well, he doesn't snack. He has to go to the bathroom. And he'll come out and he'll be like, Are you still awake? Like, nope, you're dreaming, buddy. Good night. Okay, good night. He just looks out in the living room, and his eyes are about half closed. He's like,
yeah.
Yeah, he come down in the middle of the night one night. It must have been like 2 a.m. And I was just kind of sitting here. I was watching a movie, and he goes, "You're still up?" And I go, "It's morning." And he goes, "Huh?" He goes, "The sun isn't up." I go, "Like, buddy," I said, it's. They said it's not coming up today. And he's like, "Huh?"
You just mess with it like that is funny.
I know I shouldn't, because my wife's all the time like, you can't mess with him like that. He's already confused. He's half asleep. And I'm like, but the sun's not up. I'm like, they said it's not coming up today.
It ran away.
He's like,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Ran away.
She's going to be like, he's not going to know what to think. And I go, he's not even going to remember. And I'll ask him the next morning, do you remember me talking to you last night? I'll be like, see, hon, he doesn't even remember.
Yeah.
Yes, this one right here. This is one of the pictures I told you Shelly puts it on Instagram. Myrtle's plantation. Where was that at? Louisiana, Shelly? I think you said. Which, that kind of stuff, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we're actually looking into doing stuff like that too.
Yeah, once all this stuff clears up, I want to go to a place called Prospect Place.
Okay.
It's here. It's literally, I mean, it's 10 minutes from me, but it was part of the Underground Railroad, and the Ghost Hunters came here and did a filming there once.
Yeah, you were telling me about
some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah.
They used to do overnights, and if they do any this year, I'm taking the equipment.
There you go.
Taking the equipment and doing an overnight. I think that'd be a really
go.
neat video to do.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and continue doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but outside of that, if you don't have anything else, Danny, I think we're going to call it a night.
We're good. We're good.
That's good.
I gotta get to bed.
For Shelly and Jonathan, and those of you who might be watching on the replay, please hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you don't know who Danny from Two Real Geeks is, Two Real Geeks on YouTube, check him out. He's got a lot of great stuff. He does some theme parks. He does a lot of different things. He's got Lego stuff. He's got a trip to what is it? Puppetry. Your Jim Henson video. Yeah, Puppetry of Arts.
Puppetry of Arts video. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep. They've got a lot of great stuff. And if you want people who do very entertaining stuff, they do live streams at home with games. They do a Saturday night hangout, which is great. And his wife, Jess, has entertainment or weekly entertainment news, which is now going to be on Fridays.
9:30.
Yeah. Do you have a time nailed down for that yet? 9:30. So for me, I'm Tony of Phantasmic Chronicles. This is Danny of Two Real Geeks. We are going to tell you guys good night now. Yep, that's
Good night. Yeah.
Danny.
One of the
Yeah. You never know which way to point, even though you know you should know.
I know. It's like opposite of where you are.
Which way do I go? And if you like good pictures, follow Shelly Starwalker on Instagram. She puts up some great stuff, and check her out on YouTube as well, because she is doing some really interesting stuff. So
Yep.
I think we are out.
Yep. We're out of here.
Have a great night, everybody.